In 1888, just a few months before the end of his most active writing period, Friedrich Nietzsche wrote in Ecce Homo that his work spoke with the voice of a psychologist like no other. He believed that anyone who truly understood his writing would notice this first. Nietzsche saw himself as the first real psychologist among all the great philosophers. He even asked, which philosopher before me was ever a psychologist? According to him, psychology didn't exist before he came along. And looking back, there's some truth in that, because big names in 20th century psychology like Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, and Alfred Adler were deeply influenced by Nietzsche's thoughts. Nietzsche didn't explore psychology just for the sake of theory or academic interest. For him, knowledge had one true purpose: to give energy and meaning to life. In his essay on the use and abuse of history for life, he quoted Goethe, "I hate everything that only teaches me without boosting or inspiring my actions." Nietzsche studied psychology to find out how a person can truly become who they are, a theme that was also the subtitle of his autobiography, Ecce Homo, how one becomes what one is. He repeated this idea in The Gay Science, asking, what does your conscience say? You shall become the person you are. In this video, we'll explore what it means to become your true self, while diving into some of Nietzsche's most interesting psychological ideas. Many philosophers have tried to understand the human mind, its habits, biases, nature, and origins, but Nietzsche believed that all of them had failed in a major way. He said they were limited not just by blindly following society's moral rules, but more deeply by being too afraid to explore their innards. In Beyond Good and Evil, Nietzsche described the mind as something made up of many deep, complex layers, so much so that fully understanding it is simply impossible. This idea was influenced by Heraclitus, an early Greek thinker whose short, deep sayings had a big impact on Nietzsche's work. How can a human being truly know themselves? Nietzsche once asked, a question that lies at the heart of his view of the mind. Nietzsche described the human mind as something dark and hidden. He said that even if she has 7 layers of skin, a person could peel off 70 times 7 and still not reach their true self. Still not get past the outer layers. Most people, scared of what they might find deep inside, stay on the surface of their minds. They focus on daily routines and play their social roles without ever really looking within. But Nietzsche didn't go with the crowd. He chose the harder path, diving deep into the self. And he knew this journey wasn't safe. That fear of exploring your inner mind isn't without reason. If someone isn't strong enough or lacks a talent for self-reflection, this kind of deep dive can lead to confusion and, in some rare cases, even lasting madness. Nietzsche spoke about the risks faced by those brave enough to explore the inner world of the human mind. While he admitted this journey might be foolish and dangerous for most people, he believed it was necessary for a rare few. Some individuals, unlike the majority, have minds that are much deeper and more chaotic. These people are almost forced to turn inward, to understand and bring order to their inner world. If they don't, they risk being torn apart by their inner struggles. Nietzsche saw this deep self-exploration as a way to shape oneself into a whole and balanced person. He praised Goethe as a perfect example. Someone who took his inner chaos and turned it into a complete, unified self. What he wanted was totality, Nietzsche wrote. Goethe trained himself to become whole. He didn't create himself out of anything, but rather shaped what was already there. Nietzsche was clear. Becoming yourself doesn't mean you can be anything you want. We can't just mold ourselves like clay from scratch, no matter what some may believe. According to Nietzsche, each of us has a deep inner nature that sets clear limits on who we can truly become. Deep down, there's something in us that can't be taught, a solid core of spirit shaped by instincts and fixed answers to certain big questions in life. When we face major challenges or deep personal decisions, that core speaks up and says, "This is who I am." Our nature isn't just formed by childhood or inherited traits from our ancestors. Nietzsche believed were also shaped by history. The beliefs, traditions, and ideas from old cultures still live within us, buried deep in our minds, affecting how we think and feel. All those past ways of living, from different places and times, now blend inside us. As modern people, our inner world is a mix of all this, and as Nietzsche put it, we are a kind of chaos. Since the past lives inside each of us, Nietzsche believed we must explore history to truly understand ourselves. He said that just watching our own behavior isn't enough. We need history because the past flows through us like 100 invisible waves. Our minds, just like modern cultures, are shaped by old traditions, myths, and institutions. But many people today feel lost and out of place in the world. Nietzsche saw this as a result of losing touch with the past, what he called a lack of historical sense. Without it, we don't know where we came from and we feel rootless. In his early essay on the use and abuse of history for life, Nietzsche compared two kinds of people, one who has lost faith in their roots and chases endless new things, and another who feels grounded like a tree, calm and steady because they know they grew from deep historical roots. Nietzsche also believed that it's not just old cultures that live in us. Deep down, our minds still carry ancient, even prehistoric instincts. Just like the human body holds traces of evolution going back to reptilian times, our psyche holds powerful, primitive drives from the early days of humanity and beyond. No matter how advanced or civilized someone may seem on the outside, deep down, every person is still part animal and part ancient human. Nietzsche said he discovered that this primitive side, our early human and animal past, is still alive in him, shaping how he thinks, feels, and acts. These wild, uncivilized layers of the mind hold what Zarathustra called the beast within, powerful instincts, like aggression or intense sexual desires that can take over a person if left unchecked. But instead of trying to suppress or deny these deep impulses, Nietzsche believed we should explore and understand them, like a wild river that can be turned into a source of energy. These primal forces inside us can bring strength and vitality if we learn how to use them wisely. Nietzsche warned against the common mistake of trying to block or destroy these inner drives. He believed it's far better to channel their power and make them work for us, rather than letting them overflow or dry up completely. But hidden in the ancient layers of our mind are not just wild or destructive instincts. Nietzsche also spoke of something he called the divine animal, deep instincts that once guided our ancestors through dangerous and uncertain times, long before modern thinking took over. These instincts helped them survive and even thrive without needing conscious thought. But today, most people have lost their connection to these powerful inner guides. Instead, we rely only on our conscious mind, the weakest and most unreliable part of us, and this causes us to stumble through life, unsure and disconnected. Nietzsche pointed out that when modern people face challenges or confusion, they no longer trust their deeper instincts or allow those inner guides to take over when logic fails. This disconnection from our past, from our historical, prehistoric, and animal nature, fills us with conflicting thoughts and feelings. As Nietzsche simply said, "We of chaos." Unlike many philosophers who saw the human mind as one simple, unified thing, Nietzsche boldly claimed it's many different parts, a collection of drives and feelings all tangled together. He described our essence as a group of competing drives, sometimes working against each other, sometimes making alliances. Nietzsche compared the mind to a city, where many different personalities live and often clash. His challenge to himself and others was to find a way to bring these conflicting forces into harmony and give order to the chaos inside us. He believed this could happen through what he called an organizing idea, or a ruling passion, a main drive that leads and controls the others, acting like the center of the mind. This guiding force doesn't come from simply deciding to have it. It has its kind of intelligence and shows itself gradually over a person's life. All we need to do is watch for this master drive and allow it to grow without blocking it. This organizing idea slowly grows stronger inside, helping us avoid the wrong paths and preparing us with the skills and qualities needed for a bigger purpose. It quietly trains all parts of us, even before revealing what its final goal or meaning will be. The organizing idea, simply put, brings order to the many competing forces inside us, guiding a person to focus deeply on one powerful, meaningful goal, almost like a heroic mission that gives life purpose. Nietzsche captured this idea perfectly in an unpublished note, where he said it's a myth to think we'll find our true selves by just forgetting or leaving parts behind. Instead, becoming who we truly are is like being a sculptor, shaping and creating a unique form from many different pieces. Nietzsche's psychological ideas are broad, deep, and insightful because he strongly believed that the modern mind needed careful examination. But despite his sharp observations, some critics say his work isn't important since he became mentally ill at just 44 and stayed unwell until his death. Ignoring that his illness might have had a physical cause, they ask, why listen to advice on becoming yourself from someone who lost his mind? To answer this, let's end with a chilling note Nietzsche wrote before his illness, almost predicting his fate. He said, "There is a false saying, how can someone who can't save himself save others? But what if I hold the key to your chains? Why should your lock be the same as mine?" If you found these ideas about Nietzsche and the human mind interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into philosophy and psychology. Also, share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think it means to become who you are?